house, nice cars and rope chain. She used to tell me a story about the amazing Glaze. Him and your pops was like brothers, but that nigga was crazy. Me in early, late 80s, Brooklyn, the murder capital, where it wasn't frowned on if you had to bust a cat or two.
And somebody was asking me about a story about the time that I was being shot at and I got into a cab or whatever. And, you know, I couldn't quite remember what the heck they was talking about or whatever, because don't get me wrong, because a lot of things that I've been through in my life, you know what I'm saying? I've been through the good, I've been through the bad, I've been through the ugly. So this individual telling me about something that I supposed to have spoke about, but I didn't have a clue of what he was talking about. And then, like, you know, the more and more you thinking about it, me getting in the cab and somebody shooting at me and I'm trying to go back in time. And then I thought about it. On that time was during March of 1986. I had just got back from visiting a buddy of mine at the time in Auburn Correctional Facility. He was serving 25 to life. So I just got back, you know, at 59th Street in Columbus Circle. So I left 59th Street in Columbus Circle and right now took a cab and went around this location where my people was at. And that was over there like St. Mark and Nostrand Avenue. So as I'm over there, you know, all that time I kept getting a page. And right now it was my guy, Mari. And right now he was with me on this body that, you know, I did. He didn't know I was gonna do it because I didn't know I was doing it. But the difference is this guy was legit. He's working at General Motors at the time in Austin, New York. And got his whole life ahead of him. He got a great job working for General Motors in Austin, New York, near Sing Sing. But now they got him. He paged me because he got picked up by a homicide detective. And now he paged me from his number, from a number, but he's using his code. So back then we didn't have cell phones. What we had pages. So when I got the page and I went to this phone booth on Nostrand and St. Mark. As I went to the phone booth on Nostrand and St. Mark and I pick up the phone and I start, like, you know, putting them, you know, the coins in to call this number, and all of a sudden I heard somebody say something. Then as I heard somebody say something, I turn around. And this brother, that weeks prior, we had a shootout because he was trying to rob me. So now, I'm in his territory. I don't have no gun. I don't have anything. I just got a neck full of jewelry, probably like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in my pocket. And when he called me and I looked at him, I'm like, oh man. And he had this nickel plated, I think it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5. He had this nickel plate in his hand. And man, woof, you talking about like, man. And he started like aiming at me. And I just started doing like DMC say, run, 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 run. Or even like that movie from Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run, Blaze, run. I'm like trying to run through the, you know, the Nostrand Avenue. This guy chased me up and down Nostrand Avenue. And normally, anybody know anything about Brooklyn, especially Nostrand Avenue, they are always flooded with NYPD finest. Always, at all time. This particular day, no NYPD finest is around. And this brother like chased me, and I'm running for my dear life. Because once again, if the bullet would have caught up to me, it would have been over with. And I'm running, I'm trying to zigzag as he's shooting at me, going back and forth. Then all of a sudden, I got some distance from him, and I see this cab driver dropping off these ladies. You know what I'm saying? Okay, look like some beautiful young ladies. And as they drop them off, I go to the cab, and I say, look, man, here, I got a wad. I probably got like $5,000 to $7,000 on me. I'm trying to give him the wad. Yo, here, take this cash. Take me anywhere. This dude looked at me. His door's still open, the back passenger door still open, and he took off. Boom! You know what I'm saying? Crashing, like hitting the, you know, taking his door, hitting another car as he got away from me. And you know what? Dashawn's still on me. I kept going. And folks, I wound up being exhausted, but I got away. My life was spared. No sense at Mark. I wound up running into my people. You know what I'm saying? Period. They, where you at? You know, they came and picked me up. Okay? Now, I'm exhausted. I'm out of breath. You know, like right now, my heart beating like real fast because once again, I almost died. I almost got executed on the street of New York. Okay, I almost died. So, long story short, what I did with me and my people, we started talking about different things about, okay, cool, we know what we got to do. You know, right now that was the cat Dashawn. He tried to rob me previous. We going to get him. Can't get him now, don't know where he's at. So here it is. I went to my old neighborhood, Cypress. My mom still lived there at the time. And when I went there, and she was just talking about like how a homicide detective was looking for me and, you know, different things, what was going on. I'm saying, Mom, don't worry about it, because once again, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, first thing Monday morning, I'm going down to my lawyer office and we're gonna turn myself in and see what they got. Okay, no problem. Now, I left 1266 South Avenue and went towards the 18th side. And I ran into my man, Big Eye Reed. So right now, I'm saying, where L at, man? So right now, where it's like, you know, back then, man, they could have been anywhere, because basically they had that whole four buildings in that section. That was their building. So he could have been in any one of those 49 apartments in each and every one of those buildings. But right now, he gave me a Pacific apartment that the brother was in. I said, okay, cool, let me go check it out. I went to one place, he wasn't there. I went to another place, he wasn't there. I said, man, listen, I give up. Tell him I said I need to talk to him, give me tomorrow. So now, as I'm leaving out, you know, I like, yo, man, that car over there, what's that car? You know, right there was on Fountain and, hold up, it was on Fountain Avenue, Fountain and Sutter. So it was there. I said, who knows, man? It's probably a customer waiting a cop. Who knows? I don't know. So right now, as I left opposed to me going to the Fountain, out that exit of Fountain, southern side where that car was sitting at, I went the opposite way. As I went the opposite way, and I came in between those two buildings, like, you know, going across the street, you know what I'm saying? As I'm leaving Cypress, and I made a left around that building, and I'm still on the sidewalk. That same car, left, Sutter, you know what I'm saying, and Fountain, and as they made a right onto Sutter Avenue, okay? So as I'm coming around there, we kind of like meeting up, and I didn't know it. All of a sudden, window go down. All of a sudden, guns come out. Pop, 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 pop. These cats shooting at me. I hit the floor. Poof. Okay? Mind you, I'm not strapped. So now, sit back and think about it. I just got shot at twice by two different people, two different groups. One in Bedford-Stuyvesant, or the Crown Heights section, whatever you want to call it. Then at Cypress. And these guys that was trying to execute me this time was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy in them. Mind you, crazy robbed my spot. And not only that, he didn't just rob my spot. He also was shooting at me with my own gun. How crazy is that, folks? Sit back and look at it, man. You know what? Like, look in the type of life that we was involved in. Look at the type of life as a young kid. Okay, right then, I was probably like 21, 22. But the difference is the things that I was doing, all for the wrong reason. You know, robbing, stealing, selling, drug, killing. For what? What was it again? Here it is, a lesson was already there. I just got back from Auburn Correctional Facility, from seeing a buddy of mine that was serving a 25 to life sentence. Sit back, it happened in 81, so this is 86. He was only 5 years in to that bid. And yet and still you think, damn, do I want to be like him? Do I want to be sitting in a jail cell, you know, for the next 25 years? The guy wound up getting out 30-something years later. But let's sit back and think about it. We all have choices to make. We all have decisions to make. And the difference is we have to learn how to make the right decision. Because if we don't make the right decision, what's going to happen? We're setting ourselves up to fail, folks. And we gotta stop setting our own self up to fail. We gotta stop making that multi-billion-dollar prison system their permanent address. And always remember, man, crime doesn't pay. If I can change, anybody can change. But keep in mind, folks, change come from where? Change come from within, and change come from pain. Sometimes what you gotta ask yourself, no pain, no gain. One love.